Projects attract liquidity through liquidity mining. Liquidity providers provide liquidity and receive native tokens. The moment rewards dry, the liquidity also starts leaving. One token equals one vote. That means a competitor or a bad actor has the power to manipulate the outcome of the votes through bad governance. This problem is solved by vote escrow tokenomics, pioneered by veCRV. The vote escrow model lots users' funds and grants voting rights. With locked tokens, an alignment is created between the incentives of the token holders and the liquidity providers, translating to better governance. BAL, as we know, is the governance token of Balancer. The problem with the system was that the BAL minting was not automated and the holders did not have any direct power over how BAL liquidity mining was getting distributed. Moreover, it lacked a mechanism for distribution of protocol-level fees. To solve these problems, a proposal was put up for introducing veBAL tokenomics. This went live in March of this year, creating a long-term alignment between the protocol and its users. Unlike veCRV, where users lock veCRV for veCRV, users obtain veBAL by locking 80/20 BAL to wrapped ETH Balancer Pool Tokens. The lock period is a minimum of 10 days up to a year. The longer the lock, the more is the voting power. With this system, the amount of BAL received by a given pool or gauge is based on the gauge weight, which is a function of how much veBAL has voted for that particular gauge. In order for liquidity providers to be eligible for liquidity mining, they must state their Balancer Pool tokens in the pool's corresponding gauge. Now let's move on and talk about the benefits to projects for issuing bribes. Just like veCRV was, BAL battles have begun, a race amongst protocols to provide the highest yield to their user on Balancer. Bribing battles essentially allows projects to provide veBAL holders rewards to vote in the direction they prefer. So let's understand how this actually works. Protocols bribe users through their native tokens to vote for their own liquidity pools. Users use veBAL power to vote for maximum BAL allocation for those particular pools. This essentially incentivizes users to provide liquidity in a given protocol's liquidity pool on Balancer. Protocols attract liquidity and users gain high ROI. Also, it leads to project awareness among the wider crypto audience. A good example of this is how Badger managed to garner attention with their Badger-wrapped Bitcoin pool. And to put things in perspective, let me give you another example. Lido used a 25,000 Lido bribe, attracting 16% of the total weekly BAL emissions to their wrapped ETH pool. The market value of the bribe was 24,000. 16% out of the 145,000 weekly BAL emissions equaled 23,200 BAL as liquidity mining rewards to their pool. And the 23,200 BAL at market value, well, that was worth around $160,000. So Lido's bribe gave users an ROI of 566%, meaning for every $1 that they invested, they received $6.66 in liquidity mining rewards for their pool on Balancer. Moving on to the benefits users get. For users, a high ROI, just like in the case of Lido, is phenomenal. They are rewarded with more yield and passive income than being just short-term speculators. The incentives include a voting incentive or the bribe from the protocol, up to 10% of the emissions directed back to veBAL holders, and up to 2.5 times boost in emissions for state LP tokens proportional to the amount in the liquidity pool. Balancer Protocol, the leading platform for programmable liquidity.